I'm ready for you. R.I.P. to the girl you used to see. Her days are over. Baby, she's over. I'm ready for you.
Alright, so hi, I'm Andrew.
Mr. Knox?
And I'm Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Okay.
Alright, so first question, what is your career?
I'm a teacher at Walnut High School.
Mm-hmm.
But for this interview, we're interviewing him as a high school parent who has a son as a sophomore.
Yes.
Yeah. So how is it like pretty much having a sophomore son?
Well, it's kind of funny because as a high school teacher, you'd think I would be an expert on teenagers. I've taught 20 years and stuff, but when they're your own kid, it's different. I make them do homework and, deal with whatever, getting tired and cranky and stuff. And so I thought, parenting's going to be easy, but it's much easier to be a teacher than a parent,
Especially because he's in your...
Well, and even before that,
Yeah.
even last year and stuff. I'm not Mr. Expert of handling, teenagers and stuff. I think I do a great job in the classroom, but then when it's your own kid trying to get them to be motivated and do things, it can be a little difficult.
It's interesting.
And what rules they have to follow as a high schooler?
Just to be a nice kid, really that's the most important thing for me. And to be polite with manners, and I think he does a pretty good job of that. Yeah.
Is there anything strange or unusual that occurs with your children?
Well, children would include my 8th grade daughter, and that would be a whole new topic. If you want to talk about that, we can.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, since we're talking about my sophomore son in high school.
Yeah.
Middle schoolers, I think, are different. I think middle school's tough. So we can talk about my daughter if you want. But with my son, I think he plays too much video games. I liked video games when I was a kid and stuff. But like in the summer, he took summer school, but then like after summer school to school, he'd be in his room for, you hear about it, 5, 6, 7, but like 8, 10 hours, and it's like, that's unusual. So unfortunately, my son has a leg injury, and so he can't do any sports or anything. He can't really even stand over an hour. So like amusement parks, he even hates that because he's uncomfortable. So what can you do in life if you can't stand, for an hour? So he plays video games. And, he doesn't even play first-person shooter. He plays like sports games and stuff. And, I figure that's okay, but 10 hours of video games is a little excessive.
Yeah.
But he's not into girls and stuff, so I figured why not? It could be worse. He could be out doing drugs and doing inappropriate things. But I would think that's it's almost antisocial, It's like, can you get out of the house and do something? So that would be my thing. But from what I hear, a lot of other teenagers play for, hours on end as well. And he goes to bed at 10 every night, so he doesn't play all night and sleep all day. But when he wakes up at 9, 10 in the summer, he plays from 10 to 10 or something.
Wow.
He comes down and eats. And, the kids don't really watch so much TV today. They do stuff on the computer and then play video games. And so that's different from what I'm...
What would you do differently in raising your child?
I think with my son, we've done a decent job. And I really wouldn't do anything different. But I think, again, with my 8th grade daughter, somewhere we gave her a little too much independence. And I don't know. So I always debate with my daughter. Did we blow it when she was 2? Did we hit a 1 when she was 3? Because she's a little sassy and not really respectful, and she loses her temper and she gets angry and stuff. But my son's a nice, well-adjusted kid, and he does have friends. He play, you can play video games online, with each other. He's talking to his friends and stuff, and he does get together to go see the movies and stuff some days. But I think we'll see. I did okay with one person, so it's not like I parented it different. Maybe it was just genetically, she was born different. She was wired different. But this isn't a very good answer. This is kind of a cop-out. But really, I think what I would do different is I would make them eat better. I eat very well, and I eat, without preservatives and fast food. I eat fruits and vegetables and stuff. And yeah, he doesn't eat very well. He doesn't eat fruits. He doesn't. He doesn't eat stuff he should. He loves fast food and stuff. Now he's thin, but one day that's going to catch up with him.
Yeah.
So I think I should have made him eat his vegetables, like I was made. But I think as a person, he's a good kid and stuff.
What do you teach?
Oh, I'm a high school math teacher. I teach currently this year at Northview High School Algebra 1s and Algebra 2s, and this is my 22nd year at Northview High School.
What was your experience with the students that were growing up as you had them, like, since freshman year to seniors? What's the difference?
Oh, definitely at the maturity level. Freshmen coming in, just sort of overwhelmed and scared a little bit of high school sometimes, not knowing what to do, and not taking high school seriously, their studies seriously, and by the time they're juniors, seniors, they know how important grades are and start thinking about college. And I always hear it a lot that juniors and seniors say, hey, I wish I would have taken my freshman and sophomore year more seriously and tried harder. So I do hear that quite a bit.
Are there any specific guidelines or rules you would like your students to follow?
I always expect students to do their best, and one of the quotes I use a lot is, failing is okay. It's okay to fail, but as long as you are trying your best. So failing with effort is acceptable, but failing without effort is unacceptable. So just doing your best.
Did you ever have a unusual or strange occurrence with a student here, like such a memorable memory with like a random student?
Can I tell sort of a crazy story?
Oh yes,
Is that
certainly.
okay?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I had a student in the back of class that was thirsty, and if a student has a water bottle in class, that's usually fine. I'm giving notes, and he was just drinking out of his water bottle throughout the class period. Didn't think really anything of it, but as soon as the bell rang at the end of the period, he got up, took one step, and bam, right to the floor, just collapsed and almost passed out. And he was drinking vodka the whole period and decided he was going to get drunk in my class.
Wow.
They carried him away on a cart, and I never saw him again. And I hope he's not an alcoholic to this day. But he got drunk in my class by drinking vodka out of a water bottle. That's just one of many stories that I can probably tell.
Oh,
little
that's
crazy.
so fun. Is there anything you would do different from your first year of teaching?
Boy, from my first year teaching to
Yes.
where I'm at right now, I would say this: just anytime you start a new job, or you have to expect growing pains, and I've learned a lot over the years. But yeah, starting off, it's tough to start off any job or do anything really good the first time. So yeah, I'm sure I messed up sometimes throughout the years, and I still mess up. Nobody's perfect, but I've learned over the years to connect with students and try to treat them with respect. And I very seldom have any discipline issues in my class. I try to stay positive in class and personal. I'd like to tell stories about my family and about life, and I think students appreciate that for the most part. I didn't do so much of that early on in my teaching career, but probably wish I would have. But even to this day, after 22 years, I'm still learning and trying to get better.
For you to raise them, like, was it how you expected, or were you
Sure.
kind of like, oh no?
Two daughters right here, you can see. This is Lindsay. She's 9 years old right now, kissing a dolphin when we went to Mexico. She's been a complete angel, an angel of a child. Very compliant, works hard, school comes easy. She's been blessed with a great mind, hardly ever in trouble, and just an awesome young girl. Lily right here, she's silly, she's funny, but she's stubborn. And she just started kindergarten this year, and she's already asked me, Daddy, is school almost over? So she's having a tough time transitioning into kindergarten. She's adopted. We adopted her when she was 11 months old from an orphanage in South Korea. But I love both of my daughters just the same. And I have a wonderful wife that we partner together to raise our daughters. And I'm sure there's going to be challenges along the way, as there are with any parents, but we'll cross cross that bridge when it comes. And yeah, just try to show as much love, care, and concern for my daughters as I possibly can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Reinstra.
Well, thank you, Tina. You're a very good interviewer.
Oh.
Thank you. Extra credit, A+ right here, for sure. Yes.
Yay.
Who's your teacher?
Mr. Shield.